Hello friends, acquaintances, and enemies of all ages. My name is Combat Bird, and this is Let's Get Physical, the series where I go over my favorite physics games or play the ones you all recommend to me. Today, we'll be looking at Turbo Dismount. Go back to August of 2002. A solo game developer known as Jetro Lauha, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, created a simplistic physics-based game where the player can push a ragdoll in various places down a set of stairs. The game would record your score based on how much damage you could inflict on the doll. This led into Jetro's next project, Truck Dismount, which had a similar concept. But this time, the ragdoll was in a vehicle, and you could choose how quickly it went, whether it had a windshield or not, as well as place up to 2 ramps for the truck to drive over. Now fast forward to the year 2006, when a game studio known as Secret Exit was founded with the goal of developing good games with good people. After releasing a few games over the years, such as Zenbound and iLord, we eventually hit the year 2014, where Secret Exit was finally able to release Turbo Dismount. Now right off of the bat, you'll see exactly where the inspiration for this game came from. Those games from the early 2000s. It's like they took the funnest parts of both and molded them into one sparkling game. The game starts you out with its signature level, known simply as the original classic, which is quite literally straightforward. You have a road, a ragdoll, a vehicle, and a ton of options to mess with. No tutorial, no tips, just you and an endless amount of possibilities. By using this first level, you can get familiar with the different options you have at your disposal. You can select your character, vehicle, obstacles, poses, and even your steer path. All of these options can drastically affect how your how your safe drive down the road can go, and in turn affect your score. As you progress through the levels, they get more and more interesting, and will sometimes put you in a funny situation just for the sake of it. You've got police chases, vertical ramps, parking simulators, loops, and so much more. How do you want to play? Do you want your ragdoll to be Mr. Dismount? Perhaps Miss Diva is more your style. Mr. Ego, avoid this guy. Slenderman, Mr. Reach is always entertaining. He also has my favorite pose options. Did I mention that the characters are customizable as well? I was even able to slap my logo onto all of the vehicles. But if you prefer a picture of Mr. Bean, I totally understand. Screw it, Mr. Beanify your ragdoll too. It's a ton of fun to try out each vehicle. Some of them are weird, some of them are normal, and some of them are ridiculously fast. Testing each one is a must if you're going to play this game. Some of them even have little bonus effects. For example, when you drive the Quad Fin Fighter, an amazing reference itself by the way, if you drive over a turbo pad, it'll start to shoot. Quite a few vehicles have these little Easter eggs, and all of them feel completely unique. The attention to detail here is spot on. Alright, so you've messed with some of the vehicles and you found your favorite. While messing around, you get an amazing crash. Your vehicle, your ragdoll, all of it was absolutely obliterated. Well, Turbo Simulator has an awesome replay system. You can view your replay again in super slow motion, make sure to get that perfect camera angle. I found myself sometimes spending more time messing around with replays than I did playing the game. Speaking of camera angles, there are a few you get to choose from. There's free cam, cinematic, a traditional close-up angle, and even a first-person view. The only issue with this view is that typically when you start a dismount, the ragdoll's head falls forward so you don't get a great look at your surroundings, but this can be solved by manually controlling the camera. I know it seems like I'm just kind of rambling on, but that's really what this game is like. No real goal other than to get ridiculous crashes. And let's see, we have 32 levels, 8 characters, 38 vehicles. That's a ridiculously large amount of combinations. And that's not even counting the possible obstacles, poses, steer paths, or dismount speed. Oh, and I should mention, they are still updating this game, constantly adding new vehicles, levels, and more. Now let's say for some reason you don't think that's enough. You want more. You crave it. You've been playing this game since the moment you were born and plan on playing it for centuries. Then do I have good news for you? Because the workshop community for this game is almost as ridiculous as the game itself. There are pages and pages of great workshop content that fans of the game have put a ton of time and effort into, with more being made all the time. So go on, take some time out of your busy day and play Turbo Dismount. It's a sandbox that'll hold you forever. And that is it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a wonderful rest of your day.